And we are live right now for the Blue Wall Podcast.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are fortunate enough to, in the studio tonight, have some significant others with us.
That's right, the lovely Sarah Deacon and the lovely Marlena Henry. This is my...
Is that what I sound like on the radio?
That's what you sound like all the time.
Is that what I sound like all the time?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so sorry for you guys. That is horrible. Gosh, I'm surprised anyone wants to have a conversation with me.
Right,
You get
I
that?
guess.
Is that fixed over there?
Yeah, what, it's fixed?
Yeah, do I sound nasally when I talk?
Yeah.
I talk like through my nose?
I do.
I would
I
try
can't
to
help it. I have like a
No,
jacked
you
up-
don't sound like you're as bad as me, though. What if I talk a little deeper from my stomach? Does that sound better? Does
I
that
don't
sound
know.
more like a man would talk?
I guess, yeah.
A
Let's
big,
talk like that,
strong
me and
man.
you.
Like if I was up walking around the Arnold, I should probably
I guess
talk
you
with
should
a little,
talk a little deeper,
deeper
I guess,
with a
yeah.
little more bass in my voice.
Totally. So,
Okay.
or that could be your radio voice.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, Chillicothe.
Actually, it's Hello World because we're on the
Yes,
internet.
we are on the World Wide Web, right here. February, this is March
second.
2nd. Jeez,
Yeah.
time is flying. Don't know what's happening.
It's March 2nd, yeah.
Sheesh.
Apparently, there was a run on groceries last night, being the first, and a storm coming in. It made for a perfect storm at every Walmart in America.
Oh, and they thought that everything was going down, right?
Well, and it was the first of the month, so everyone had money. So, they were all at Walmart spending that money. I wonder how much Walmart has invested in, like, the food stamp program.
In the food stamp program?
Yeah.
How much
They
they've
probably do. They probably back it.
Oh, why wouldn't they? Every grocery. You know how much less money would be spent?
Sorry, a little bit.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Because of yes. I'd say all of them. Kroger's, any type of grocery store is probably backing that program wholeheartedly because, well, I mean, basically every dollar that is in the SNAP program or whatever every other state has, I don't think all of them are SNAP, is going to be spent at a store and probably Walmart.
Wasn't Walmart part of that big food stamp scam, or like they were doubling up or whatever, like they were getting unlimited amounts on their food stamps?
Okay, I don't know I think I know what you're talking about. Like in a couple states, it showed that they had an unlimited amount. Walmart ended up having to pay for that, though. The state didn't reimburse them for that. Or not the state, the federal government. They was like, no. So I remember down in Louisiana, I think it happened. The Walmart ended up just paying for it, but they were like, yeah, go ahead, let them spend whatever they want. And boy, they were 6 grocery carts full. But hey, when you get a chance like that, if you're used to getting things for free, why wouldn't you take advantage?
You wouldn't do it if you
I'm
had
sa-
unlimited free groceries. You're saying you wouldn't load your cart up.
I'm not saying that at all,
You
Sarah.
just said that.
No, I said if you're used to getting things for free and you
You're
get a
judging
chance.
other people.
I'm
for
not
doing it
judging.
When you would have done it yourself.
I am not judging them at all. I didn't say one bad thing about them.
Did you push your mic away from you?
Yeah, I didn't want anybody to hear me.
Well, if you're going to be
We can't hear you.
Jocking
We
me.
need to hear you. Yeah.
if you're going to be jocking me this whole time trying
Sorry,
to
is that better?
criticize, that's a
Can
little
you hear me
better.
now?
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna fall out probably.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're
I
about to
would.
pull it
I
out.
would have done it.
Penis.
Well,
Keep it away from your mouth a little bit.
No, you need it
I
close.
was low.
You
No,
need
that's
it.
low.
No, you need it close. Here, you have soft voice.
It depends on the size.
Well, like I said, I get it. I would not be criticizing anyone because I've got my own sins to atone for. And if you're used to getting something free and then all of a sudden, hey, we'll give you more free stuff, of course they're going to do it.
Why do you even have to say that? Because it wouldn't matter. Anybody would do it. It doesn't matter if
Let's
you're
not
used
go-
to getting
Let's
things
not
for
go that
free.
far. I don't think just anyone would do it. Sometimes people have character and morals and they don't take advantage even whenever the opportunity presents itself.
Do you think that's considered taking advantage? You have unlimited free.
It's
You're not
absolutely
stealing.
taking you, but you know that is a mistake, right? And you're,
Maybe policy change.
oh yeah, I think you would have got a letter and let.
Are you gonna question something like that, or you go with it? People who
I wanna know
question
how
starve
they
to death.
knew that it was an unlimited amount.
I'd say they went to check out once, and it shows a balance on there, and so it's like, endless balance. Oh, okay.
I would have bought them.
Yeah, I'd say most people would, especially if you're
I would
hungry.
have been selling them like crazy, and I would have been the first person buying them.
Yeah, probably. Like, just bring your cart here. Whatever the total is, I'll take half and I'll check you out.
Bam.
And just keep bringing them through.
Hang out.
Keep bringing them
Yeah.
through.
I'd be right down that line. I'd be like, I got $60 right here.
That's
Um,
so awesome.
Yeah. Well, so like I say, I'm not criticizing them. I'm not trying to judge them.
I mean, but
We're-
you know you're paying taxes, and that's what your money's going to, and you have a chance to kind of get a little
Well,
bit
they're
back,
probably
and you're
not paying
gonna do it?
taxes. You know, some people don't pay hardly anything in, and get a bunch of money at the end of the year because of tax credits.
I've never met any.
I've
just
met
never
several people like
experienced
that.
Don't pay anything in
They don't pay anything in at all, but they get a tax credit for each kid or whatever. You know, I get an earned income credit because I'm over the age of 25.
Even though you might not earn income.
Yeah, I think the rule is maybe I cannot remember exactly what the rule is. Maybe you have to work like so many days out of the year, but it's something ridiculously low, and it's basically just free money. So whenever you've been raised your whole life getting free money, and then an opportunity like that presents itself, then yeah, I guess I would take advantage of it. And me, I've not been raised my whole life.
Are raised their whole life getting free money.
Yeah, they're
I mean, you're a
kids.
child. Everything's given to you for free. You think money runs down
That
to
is
the
very
side.
true. I was reading, actually I wasn't reading, I heard this article on the radio about how up until about the 1940s or 50s, children were viewed a lot differently. Like if you were a kid in the 20s and 1890s, when you were 7 or 8, you had to go earn an income to help the family provide food for you. Like we're talking 7 or 8 years old. Then when about like the 50s, we started like coddling them and like, no, we need to provide for them. We need to do everything for them. And we even like love them more fondly. We treat them more fondly since then. And we looked at it as like we sacrifice for them so that they can have more or something. And it used to be a long time ago, that's not how you looked at your kids. You looked at your kids as like, I'm going to have these kids.
Like parasites.
No, you looked at your kids like, I need to have these kids because I need help on my farm. I need them to do things for me. I need them to help me produce more.
You need free servants. You need
Exactly.
workers.
You need workers.
Well, slavery wasn't around anymore, so you had to just help out your own kids.
I wouldn't say slavery is not
Make
around
your own.
anymore.
It's a
Well, not
robot
completely
factory.
around.
You make your
Yeah,
own
it's not
babies.
socially
It's
acceptable.
not. We don't use that term anymore.
Now we use low income. It's cheaper just to pay somebody a low wage than it would be to take them as a slave and provide for them because you got to provide medical, clothing, housing, food.
Mm,
It's easier just to be like, hey, we're going to give you
I
just.
think your medical might not be as.
It's probably not as
That's
good
what
as you
you
think,
think.
but if you have a slave and you want him to work, you need to take care of him, correct? He needs to be healthy.
Why would they cut off people's feet then?
I don't know, because they're horrible people.
How much work can you get done without feet?
I don't know. You can do a lot of stuff with your hands.
So you think their health is the high priority for them?
I didn't say it was a high priority. I said it's got to be at least maintainable. Yeah, well, all I'm saying is
Do you
look
think
it
they
up.
fed him well?
If you think
What
it's
do you think they fed him? Do you think it was very
probably
expensive?
scraps, but probably at least
Well, we know pig's feet.
pig's feet, intestines,
Mhm.
chitlins.
So they might not have been taking as good, inexpensive care of
But they
them
were.
as you think.
I'm telling you,
I mean, if you're feeding somebody scraps and so on and so forth, you're really not spending.
it's
as much
cheaper
money
to
as
pay
you think.
somebody nothing than it is to take care of all their needs and have them work for you. Like, by nothing, I mean just like a very low income.
Well, I don't think they're actually taking
Oh,
care of their
something
needs.
like
They're
that.
meeting minimal needs.
Yeah. Housing.
No, it is. It would be cheaper.
I think that's why I think a big reason why there isn't slavery anymore. It's just a cost thing. Not that that's a good reason not to have slavery, but I'm just saying I think that is one of the reasons. Okay, can you find out how to get that to the podcast?
I don't know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
on do it like Ustream.
Yeah, I tried to get on Ustream and it wouldn't let me on that for some reason. Maybe you got to download an app. Go to your app store.
I'll tell you what I could try to do is put it up there, and we can that way we can all see
Yeah.
the the thing coming. That'd be good as we're talking.
What else? What was you going to talk about? The fights coming up, Bellator?
Vitor
Bellator?
Vitor Belfort talking about the MD said he needs 90 days to adjust to not training with TRT, which that makes sense. You know, he's not saying he's not going to do it, but
Yeah.
he needs 90 days. Is that why he's not getting the title? Is that why he had to postpone?
Well, it's
So-
illegal to test high and
Right.
wherever they're fighting is why he had to back out because he's like, oh, well, I admittedly take it,
Right.
which I don't know how I feel about that. Because, you know, once you get to a certain age, you just naturally stop producing, like, some of those hormones that 18, 19, 20, or up to, like, 25-year-olds are producing. So that would be technically an unfair advantage, wouldn't it? You have all the testosterone whenever you're young, up
Yeah.
until about 25. Then it's downhill, and by the time you're, 35, you almost stop altogether producing
Well,
it?
isn't he one that tested positive before, and before anybody was even talking about TRT, so he tested positive for testosterone, a high elevated level before. So in the rules, they're talking about that's anybody that tested positive before shouldn't be allowed to even take TRT now, even if they need it, because they abused it before is why they need it now.
Yeah.
Is why they're what they're saying. But he's
Well,
gonna.
Like I say, I got mixed emotions about it, or mixed feelings on it, because if you're saying you can't have it, well, then you'd have to test younger guys and be like, if they have too much, then they should be disqualified too, even if it's natural.
Right. Well, I mean, they're probably not going to be too much natural, I guess.
Well, you should find out what a natural level is, and you should allow everyone.
I'm sure they've done that.
Okay, well,
I'm
then
sure
they
they've
need to
done
do that. They need to have everyone meet that natural level of whatever it is, the TRT. And if as long as everyone's at an equal amount, then that's okay. You just can't pump yourself up crazy full of it.
Oh, so they'll just make they're going to make everybody, if you're low, you got to come up. If you're too high, you're going to come down. And that way, everybody's on the same level.
Well, they should find out
That
what the
serious?
highest natural level is from the ages of 19 to 25. They should take an average. And if you're going to inject yourself with it, you should not be above that average.
Right.
Because the question now is, what kind of fighter is he going to be without it?
Yeah.
Not as
That's
good.
what everybody's wondering.
He's not going to be as good. I don't care what he says. He's not going to have the same amount of like fire, you know, all that aggression is just not going to be there.
Yeah. Did you know they had an Ultimate Fighter in?
GSP?
Huh?
GSP?
No.
No.
I'm not talking about GSP. You know they had an
Vitor.
Ultimate Fighter in
Thank you, Boo.
China.
They had an Ultimate Fighter in China.
The Ultimate Fighter China.
Yeah.
They
Did
had
it
one
do
in
well?
Brazil. I don't know, but they had the finale, and Dong Young Kim knocked out John Hathaway with a spinning elbow in the third round, and got a $50,000 bonus.
Nice.
And
Those
just laid him
bonuses are
out.
where it's at, man.
He was like, Hathaway came in and he like slipped and spun around, bam.
Dude, if you're not making a
Flatlined it.
bonus, then I don't know. I guess your pay is still pretty good. Do you got this off still?
I got nothing. You told me to turn it down.
I turned it. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Still want to see a TRT Les Vitor fight
Yeah,
Whiteman.
you got on. I'm gonna try to get that up on our screen here, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to the comments.
Uh-huh. We're gonna get to those here. I'm trying to do a couple people's job.
Did you see anything about the Bitcoin crap? Remember he was talking about? Someone just said, I hope kids
Mount Gox.
cashed in his Bitcoins.
It's no. I'm not worried about Mount Gox.
Why not?
I'm not worried about it.
Where's your
It's
private
just
Bitcoins?
it was
at?
their fault. I don't have Bitcoins yet. I'm still
Okay,
checking
so
it
you're
out.
Good. You're good.
So I'm
still.
good. But I wouldn't have been at Mount Gox. I'd be like, I don't know. I got a blockchain
He
wallet.
said the Bitcoin exchange crashed, which I don't know. I didn't hear about that.
It was an exchange. Mount Gox is an
Yeah.
exchange. They
It's just
exchange
one of them, though.
your Bitcoin to dollars or euros, or
And they also hold them for you too.
right, yeah, in a storage thing, and somebody hacked into their thing because they were doing things that people they knew, like they had been talking about for a while, that it wasn't the right. You know what I mean? They knew they had a security issue.
Yeah.
And they weren't addressing it, and somebody
Got 'em.
Yeah.
Inside job, I'm sure of that. But did you see it?
Probably.
It was like what, 500,000 bitcoins, which was like
Millions.
yeah.
38 million or 40 million,
It
million
was, yeah, it
dollars
was
or
something ridiculous.
Yeah. Are you on it, Mount Gox? Oh, you
No.
don't have it?
No, I'm not.
We're talking about Mount Gox. You should be on it.
Come on, you girls,
I'm totally-
what's going on?
Okay, yeah, we dozed off.
You
after
got
the-
Google right there.
Yes, that happened.
It's too
But-
cozy in here.
What are
The
you?
lights are dim.
It's the fire.
Sarah's just over here eating a chocolate bar, like no big deal.
Can you hear it?
I was just thinking about getting some more
Mount
food
Gox
too.
is only one exchange. Like they're just
Can you hear
one.
it now?
They had a lot of Bitcoin in their exchange though.
a whole lot.
majority of it. But they're not the only one, and they had security issues, which are also going to be addressed, and they're learning from it. Bitcoin's only been around, not very long, a few years, since like what 2006, and
Is Mount Gox, is that the one in Tokyo?
Yeah.
yeah. And they could say someone tried to steal their stuff, yeah, maybe. But also, what I heard is they might not have lost all their Bitcoin. Is that they're rebooting their system, and
This
before
is the
they just
question.
can't do anything with their Bitcoin right
This
now.
is the question I asked you whenever we was talking about it. What happens? You just lose your bitcoins? Your money's just been robbed? It's not going to get replaced? There's no
Well,
security?
That's what I'm saying. They're just right now they can't get to their Bitcoin. They can't do anything with it until they address the security issue and reboot their system.
So it's not going. The bitcoin is...
I'm not
Yeah,
absolutely
see,
positive on that one though. I heard like it might be gone, but
I think it's going with the wind. And somebody's out there like, man, these people are dumb. I am rich.
it could be, but
They took a big hit, but surprisingly, I thought they were going to like plummet. And they're not doing too bad. You know what I mean? As far as what I thought there was going to happen to them.
I still, whether it's Bitcoin or not, I'm still interested in some type of cryptocurrency. I think it's pretty convenient in a lot of things, as long as it's, if everybody agrees and it's more widely accepted, the instant, you instantly know, boom, you're instantly getting your results of, you're not waiting for it to process through the bank. There's no central system.
You have to be able to in order to making it functional and not just something that you invest in and hold like gold or silver, you have to be able to go to the store and spend it, or spend it at least multiple places.
It's the same
online.
as you put money into a bank account, you take your debit card, or even online, and you go and you use that money with a card. It's kind of the same concept, except you don't have to go through the bank to do it. There's no central system, so you instantly see, you don't have that doesn't have to clear. You know that the Bitcoins are good that you're getting. You don't have to wait for it to clear through the bank from the other person. They're your Bitcoins, bam, right now, from your wallet to mine. No, I know it's good.
So it's good for transferring money overseas, but there's other things that are good for that.
Right, there's a lot, and I guess I'm still learning about it, but a lot of they're saying that it's important in more than just currency. It does a lot of things that besides just currency. Jeez, what is
I
this?
don't know. I could not even budget.
You want a knife?
No, I don't. So it's going to be used other ways, but I see the future being something like this. You don't think?
I see it. It might be something like that. I hate that idea of that, but
I
Why?
hate the idea of it.
why do I hate the idea
Yeah,
of it?
without using a bank.
Because ultimately it's going to be tracked and monitored just like everything else. Because the government has to get their money. There's no way. Pretty soon
It's
they're-
like if you're making Bitcoin, it's like right now, it's like you're a sole proprietor. You're gonna pay your taxes on your income. You claim your income off your Bitcoin and pay your taxes. And
exchange your bitcoins for Candyland money. It'll go further. Yeah, at least you can play a game with Candyland money. What I'm saying is, it's not going to stand the way it is. It's going to change, and
It
it's going to
probably-
keep. It has to change because
it will, I'm sure.
this is what's going to happen. America, the Fed's going to be like, "Hey, you guys got to make a law that says you can't buy this in
they're
America."
gonna try to regulate it.
Yeah, they will regulate it. So
Because-
then it's going to be just like everything else. It's not. It's going to lose the reason why people like it.
That was the whole thing with the like Silk Road. Is that what it was called, Silk Road? The thing where it was like an online like
Oh yeah, for drug
eBay like
trafficker,
thing, and they
black
were selling
market.
drugs
It was
on
online
there.
black market is what that
But
was.
they were taking Bitcoin,
Yeah, and they were taking other things
which they
too.
gave it a bad name for doing that, but it's not really all about that.
I don't see why that would give it a bad name. You can go right down on the corner and buy drugs with your United States. I'm sorry, is that loud? Sorry.
Yeah, it's good. No, I was just checking out if we. It sucks that one doesn't have the switch,
Yeah.
but it's a good mic.
Yeah, it's much better than the other mics. So, eventually, America's going to pass a law that says you can't spend bitcoins. You can't accept, if you want to be an American company and do business in America, you're not allowed to accept bitcoins. And that's going to be the long and short of it, because then the euro is going to do it, the pound is going to do it, and then everyone else is going to do it. So they'll blackball them. They won't allow them to do business, and then it's going to be over with. And there's going to be like 10 dudes that own all the bitcoins in the world.
You think it'll be something like that?
Yeah, I do think that, because just because does the government let you do anything without getting their cut? You know what I mean? That never happens. You always got to give your cut into the.
We can see the chat line up there now.
Yeah, that's a little better.
Oh
You
man.
can't see your
Okay.
forehead.
That's because I was sitting pretty close. I don't
Yeah,
want to look like
know.
I'm
We'll
being
check to
lazy.
See how he's being.
Uh, back to Vitor Belfort.
Oh,
Yeah.
uh huh.
My buddy, it looks like Casey still wants to see him. I think I'd rather have a trip to the Cross Keys than a pocket full of bitcoins. Some of that Cross Keys potato soup. Oh no, that's not even Cross Keys. That's the Cozy. Well, whatever. I don't think Vitor is going to be that good of a fighter, and I think you're really, once they start testing in every state, you're going to really see who's on it and who can't live without it. And then it truly is, I think it's going to eventually be a young man's game, you know what I mean? You'll be retiring when you're 28.
Yeah. Oh, if they're taking TRT early on.
I think they should just make it even. Allow you so much to be even with someone younger than you, and then that's it.
Right. Possibly.
Anyway, who else is fighting on
I'm trying-
that Wyman card?
Oh my god, I don't know. I don't even have the thing pulled up. I think there was something else I was going to talk about on it, but what's up with these ladies? Started off all talkative and had a lot of input.
You
And-
shot us down.
I put my hand
No.
down pretty strong.
No.
So
It's all right. It's
into Bitcoin and I almost fell asleep.
it's okay. We need
I
like
did.
good debates though
I got
sometimes.
really good hummus though because I knew you guys were gonna keep talking. So
Don't take anything personal. We want a good debate.
Debate,
That's
yeah.
what it's all about. Like,
while you're looking up that, I'm going to tell my story about my dream last night because it was
No
so.
one wants to hear it. It's not.
It was
Oh,
an
yeah.
awesome dream.
No, it wasn't.
Well, first of all, have you ever wondered why you dream sometimes? Isn't that just the weirdest thing ever? Because they seem real when you're in them, most generally. But
No.
anyway, you say no? You never thought a dream was real?
maybe one.
a lucid dream.
Well,
Maybe.
lucid's where you have control of your dreams.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's
But
the
yeah, they do
opposite.
feel real sometimes.
I
But
know I'm dreaming every time I'm dreaming.
There's a couple ways you can know. A, you can never run fast.
uh
B, you
can't
can't
pick
read.
anything up.
You can't read books.
you
I don't
can't
know.
punch somebody.
You can never catch somebody. If you're trying to like chase or run from people, you
or
will
beat
never
'em-
get away.
Or beat them up.
Or beat them up.
You
Yeah,
can't beat 'em
yeah.
up.
But the good thing is when you're getting beat up, it's like, this don't even hurt. I'm doing fine.
Right.
And so those
I
are the
used
ways.
to have dreams I was in a candy store and I could get anything
Candy
I
you
wanted, as much of anything I wanted.
They say if you get up to like pee or something in the middle of the night before you go to bed, spin around real quick and go right back to sleep, and you'll be able to have lucid dreaming where you can control what's going on.
Spin around real quick?
Yeah.
Why?
Make yourself dizzy and then go right back to bed.
That's a horrible idea. Somebody
I don't
just
know
might
why, I
die.
just heard it.
Sleep.
I heard it
I would be
before.
done.
The way I've heard to do it is to not like tap on a door every time you walk through it, or put a mark on your hand with a Sharpie, and always look at it all out throughout the day,
Sometimes you're
or
in a
tap
dark
on a
dream.
door every time you walk through it.
Sarah, you'll be in charge of helping us read the comments since you're looking.
No, this is what I've heard from people that have done it.
Vanilla Skies
There's-
with Tom
is that
Cruise.
wrong end? Is it at the top of the scroll?
Inception.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty nice movie.
Leonardo
Yeah, from the
DiCaprio.
top down. But anyway, let's get back to this. Let me tell you about this
introduce the
dream.
ladies, yeah.
We already
This guy
did.
knows what's important.
We already did. I think that's Casey. So he kind of barely
Oh,
knows what's.
if
he knows
you,
what's important,
this
yeah.
is the lovely
Do you know
Sarah
that?
and the lovely Marlena
Yeah.
are here in the
and
studio.
Casey.
Say hi,
No,
girls.
it's him.
I don't know if it's him, but I
Hi.
think it's him. Okay, so
All right.
here's what happened in my dream. It was a cool dream. I hardly ever have nightmares or
Probably
any
a
bad
creepy
dreams.
stranger.
So I'm coming out of my house, and I know my mailman.
Are
He's
you
married.
coming out of your house?
Yeah. I know my mailman. He's married to my cousin, so he's kind of like my family now. So I always talk to him. And he's across the street, and he's arguing with this guy, kind of arguing. A guy, like, hit the truck with his car or something. So he's like, oh, man, well, yeah, I got to report it to the police. And he's like, well, I just got to put something back in the back of my mail truck. So he goes around to the back of his mail truck, and he puts his stuff in, and the guy gets in the front seat, and he takes off. And he's standing there like stunned. And I'm about ready to get in my 2000 Suzuki Swift, which is the worst car in the world. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, Bobby, come on, let's go get this dude. You know what I mean? I'm pumped. I'm like, let's get him. So he runs over. He jumps in the Suzuki, which is the worst car to ever have a chase in. You know,
Did
it's,
a comment just disappear? There
I
was
don't-
something up there. And
maybe
that
it
was
scrolled down. I don't know. Come on, babe.
gone. I'm sorry.
right in
you
the middle
jumped
of
in
the
the
story.
car, right? Did you catch him yet? Are you to that part?
Yeah.
We're not to that
Yeah.
part yet. So we're in the car. We're about ready to skid out. You know what I mean? Dukes of Hazzard style. Of course, that would never happen in the Suzuki. It's 4 cylinders with no muffler and everything in the world that's wrong with it. And it's like a movie chase scene. Like, we lose him for a little bit, and we're creeping through town trying to find him, and then we see him through the alley, so we got to back up and go through the alley, and we're chasing him all around. Then eventually I ramp off of the highway and get on some back roads. So we're chasing them through like the woods in my Suzuki. I don't know how it's doing it, but it's doing it. It is getting it. Then eventually we get stuck and I have to carry it up a huge hill. And I just pick my car up and carry it up the hill like it's no big deal. Like, what's up? Boom, on the top of the hill. We never did catch a dude. I think I woke up right about then. But man, it was an awesome dream. I love dreams where they're not scary. They're just fun.
Yeah, and just have a big adventure through it. I
Yeah.
think a lucid dream would be pretty cool. I think, you know what I think? That a lucid dream, have you ever heard of astro travel?
No.
Like where people think they come out of their out of body experience and can do whatever they want. I think, isn't that like kind of probably a
Are-
lucid dream?
Are you talking like meditating maybe wise, or
They do something and then like their soul, is it their soul or spirit?
are you
comes out of
talking
their
about
body,
like
and you can go and you can fly and you can just be anywhere
what's
with the thought.
man?
Astro travel.
No, there's a drug, not LSD. There is a drug that ayahuasca,
Ayahuasca.
and what's the main ingredient in that? DMT.
DMT.
They did this on Netflix. They have a report about, or not a report, a documentary about the studies that they did during the 70s and 80s, like the government funded studies.
Uh-huh.
And they're giving like this really pure DMT to these people that volunteered to do
Like
it.
the drink.
No, it was a shot IV straight into
Oh,
the
geez.
bloodstream, and it was just like pure. And just about everybody had the same answers to what the questions were, and they said it was like, if you were religious, you would go see God. If you were not really religious, you would just go up and like you would just leave and meet like the universe or whatever, you know what I mean, the equivalent of it. And you would come back like 5 or 10 minutes, and they said like it was like having a lifetime of knowledge in
The-
5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, I've heard stuff like that might be from from space. Like it came on asteroids and spores or something to this.
DMT.
But
Or
doesn't it
mushrooms and
exist in
things
all-
like that. Huh?
I thought it existed like in all plants, all natural
I don't know.
It
Yeah,
exists in
like
you, like
I
your
guess it's
brain.
in your it's in your brain. Your body produces it itself.
Well, I know you have receptors.
Did they
for
all
it.
see snakes or something? Like, isn't there something like a lot of people, no matter who they are, always have a similar vision? And, like, there's no way that it's coincidence.
Look up DMT on there and see what's going on
I
Google.
don't want that in my search history.
Just do it.
Oh,
They already.
no.
Trust me, if the government
It's on
wants
my
to get
internet.
you, yeah, if
It'll be like I did it.
I just don't want it traced back to my iPad.
That's what we were talking about when you're
Don't put it in, like, how to hide a dead body.
stealing internet.
Like,
Remember,
I'm
like
releasing
what you're
someone.
looking up.
yeah.
How to murder people
Yeah, on
Your
my
husband.
internet.
and get away with it.
I already did that. I was watching Dexter,
And
and then I was googling it.
No, you were not. That is so funny. What am I?
But
doing?
yeah, I think that's interesting. And people also
DMT.
do the sensory deprivation chamber. I would like to try that.
There's one in Beaver Creek. There's a place you can go and pay and do it.
Yeah, but how much though?
It's $50,
Ooh,
I
no.
think, for
I
an hour.
couldn't. I could
45
not
or
pay
50
any. I
for
wouldn't
an hour.
pay any more than $15 for an
You want
hour.
to go and buy one?
I want to make one.
I would be interested in that.
Would you now? Because
Yes.
I'm
He's
listen.
very interested in this.
Oh, okay. Because
He's
I am
talked to me about
too.
this several times.
Because
Yes.
letting your mind just run wild is crazy sometimes. So I think what you do is you just you build your frame, you line it with your plastic,
Right.
insulate it so it's soundproof. You have to have heavy. It has to be soundproof. You cannot hear things bringing you back to
I'm
reality.
gonna
Well,
watch
the-
the Jim Carrey Spiritual Awakening DMT.
No, Jim Carrey,
The
the actor.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be really.
Come on, man,
good.
get a doctor.
the water helps with the sound though a lot.
Well,
Really.
but it also how if you're in a bathtub and you go underwater, you can hear things more clearly.
Uh-huh.
Like it may have an amplifying effect. I don't know. We'd have to study it.
If
but
somebody's
I know
tapping the side or
I
something.
know it needs to be insulated well because it has to have that steady temperature or whatever your normal body temperature is, because you can't be cold or anything like that. It has to turn that down a little bit. It has to be pitch black. It has to be. I think that's all the requirements. Salt. You need salt in there so you're easily off floating. You have to be floating. You can't be touching the bottom.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing. It's going to be like 800 pounds of salt or
Yeah,
something
it's
like
very,
that.
very. It's like
So you're buoyant.
it's the same amount of salt that would be in like the Dead Sea, which is very, very highly concentrated salt.
Right.
I
And-
would definitely do it.
which is also good for your skin, like to get that soak in the magnesium apparently. But yeah, and it's at room temperature, so all your senses are not needed,
exactly.
and you just go more into yourself, I guess, right?
Okay, we're gonna
Thought-
look into this because I want to try it, and I think, well, if you built a quality one, then people would pay you to come and use it.
Maybe.
If you
You
just
have to get a pump system.
circulate.
I've looked it up. I've looked at it on YouTube. There's a lot
what
of
do
videos.
you need the pump for?
You have
Just
to circulate
it.
But supposedly the salt is like so much salt, nothing can. It's sterile
clean.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think you have to still pump it
Keep it moving
for some reason. Yeah,
that is weird.
probably because
to
stagnant.
heat it, maybe.
I don't know.
How would you heat it?
I don't know. I think it just sits at room temperature, right?
You got to heat it up to room. I mean, what's room temperature right now?
It
It's
sits
cold as
water.
balls outside.
Water. It sits at room temperature. Yeah, but it's inside. You'd have it inside.
Yeah, but my house is like
I don't know. There probably is a
60
heater.
degrees. I don't heat my house.
There probably is a heater.
I'm not sure if he's
We're
kidding or
barely
if
heating
he's
this
serious.
house.
Yeah, we are barely in this house.
You see what I'm saying?
And
so
we
you
still
got
have an outrageous
I'm sure
electric
the
bill.
pump is somehow related to the heater, though.
Probably.
It probably
might be.
pushes it through a
Yeah,
heater.
there's a lot of videos on it, but I definitely would be interested in investing in.
I
something.
did a I didn't do a meditation thing. I read a book about meditation once, and I tried it. And this is what it said to do: lay somewhere in an almost dark room and stare at one spot specifically, and you stare at it until your vision goes black. Have you ever done that?
No.
I've done that. Like if you are in a room and you just stare at one spot continuously as long as you can, like your vision starts to black out. It's almost like you're about to pass out, but you're not passing. You're not losing
You're
consciousness.
going into a meditative state.
I don't think so.
Is that-
I didn't feel like I was meditating.
Did you blink? Like you blinked?
Yeah, you
right?
you blink, but your focus
see.
is always on that one spot. You can't be like looking around or anything else. I think it's just something to do with your optical nerve, like and how it processes information. But also, it told you to like. You can concentrate on like warming your feet. You can force yourself to warm parts of your body. So you would just think to yourself over and over again, "My feet are hot. My feet are hot. My feet are hot," and eventually your blood would just pump down to your feet.
You're so
And
making that up.
I'm not making that up.
You just made that
What?
What? See, this is what I got to deal with on a daily. I'm not making that up. Read it.
He
You
does
got.
it to me all the time.
You got
He questions
Google.
me about everything.
up. That's not. It's not.
I turned it off.
Oh,
Okay, it's back on.
You
now.
shut her
Turn
up.
it off.
Because you were listening to something.
Why'd you shut it off?
Because of this.
This is just what you do at home.
Shut her down.
All right, we can't be bringing home drama
That's
into the
true.
studio.
So
We don't
anyway, we
need
want
none
to
of that.
we want to get a sensory deprivation chamber going.
Yes, I would love to do that, and then drink an ayahuasca tea and jump in that thing.
That's a lot, dude. What you just said right there.
Right? No, I don't think I would need the ayahuasca. Have you seen the movie Altered States?
Negative.
It's about a guy like they do the sensory deprivation thing. It's like a movie from the 70s, I think. And the guy, he just kind of really goes into himself and like ends up turning into like a single cell or something.
Okay.
I don't know if he
he
actually.
goes
I
down to
vaguely
his
remember
own
this
single
movie, and I
cells of-
can't. I saw it when I was 19, and I can't find it anywhere.
Are you sure it's called Altered
Altered
States?
States, yes. Yeah, we should look that up
Is it on
actually.
Hulu?
I will try and find it. Not right now, but I'll try and find it and watch it.
Yeah.
I found a fact video about DMT and people on it, but you won't let me play.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
I wonder if
Must
you-
be really
you just have to
easy
announce it, and now you can do it. We're ready.
We can probably hook it in and listen to some of it if it's deemable. Do we still have that connection
How do I know
capability?
if it's steamable?
If it's informative.
It says DMT trip recorded with facts. Sounds legit.
Sounds legit to me, I guess.
It says with facts. It wouldn't just say facts. It
Yeah, I don't think the internet would say with facts unless it was. Hold on.
What is that? Headphones?
Get that can.
It's
Oh.
empty.
Sorry, just.
It wouldn't say
I don't need
facts.
it.
It wouldn't say facts.
It wouldn't say facts if they weren't 100% true facts. I think you're right
It's like
about
when
that.
you go on YouTube and
Yeah.
it says actual video,
Yeah.
it never is.
Official.
That damn freaking song.
My cord is in the back of the radio
It does
downstairs.
not say.
Which radio?
The the iPod thing.
Okay.
It's in there like a little cord to plug that in. Thank you.
Well, you could probably look it up on your computer if you wanted to too. It's.
I think it is weird that your body has a
I'll
DMT
I
receptor
just
in
put
it.
in DMT trip.
And it produces.
Video.
So they think that your body, whenever
Produces
you
it in the
go to
pineal
sleep,
gland.
when you sleep, it
Say
might
that for
release
me.
some DMT.
So when you're
But
sleeping,
also-
you make a trace amount. You might be tripping when
When
you're
you
sleeping.
wake up, your mind your brain releases a chemical that makes you forget, which is why you at first you're like, oh, I remember this dream, and then it
it
vaguely
fades
you don't.
away. Yeah,
Yeah, like and then so that
that's why you got to write it down.
right,
real quick.
right. It's just trying to, and I don't know what chemical that would be. At all.
I know that when you sleep, you reinforce connections that you've made during the day that are important. Like things that you've learned that you need to keep, you reinforce those connections, and things that you've seen or learned that you're not necessarily important to you, you just forget them. That way you can use that space for other knowledge.
DMT, dimethyltryptamine. Right here. Okay.
It's a long video.
That one's really long.
The one I was gonna watch was 10 minutes and 2 seconds.
Okay, we're gonna watch a clip of something.
Some of them looked really fake and stupid, so I didn't do those ones. But
Good call.
They say it's like, how long is it? Like 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Something that you just like go into
It's
a.
not like mushrooms or anything that people take like that, or acid that can be hours upon hours. which I don't even think it has the same effect of like an acid or an LSD or a mushroom or
What's
anything.
I would say it's similar, but probably not.
Yeah.
All right, what do we want to hear? Like this guy talking about his first DMT trip, or do we want to see, like, kind of watch somebody do one?
Let's do
No,
one
I
of
don't want to
each.
watch someone do it.
I just want to know what they saw when they did
Yeah.
it.
Okay, let's hear this guy. He's gonna talk about his.
Here, do you need this?
I
One
don't.
of them?
Okay, I don't know if I need that yet. Hold on. Shoot. Yeah, hold on. I gotta pause this. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you're ruining it.
What's that? Is that in my computer?
Yeah, that's
Oh, well, it's going to do that. Crap. All right, everybody, just hold on a second. Be patient. We can continue to talk about it, but I got to do it through this, so it's not gonna.
there's gonna be
Okay,
one.
so who was the? I don't know the history of it, but I know tribes in South America figure out how you can mix a plant with the bark of a tree. They boil it in a pot, then they strain it, and then they drink it like you said, like a tea or something like that.
You could smoke it too, I guess, but it's a different. That's DMT. The tea is an ayahuasca. The drink is ayahuasca
Yeah.
or whatever. The tea. Okay, here's the same one we had right here. All right, I gotta hook this up.
I know they have a tree in Africa that's called the Tree of Knowledge.
Yeah.
And it supposedly yields fruit.
That's very biblical.
Oh, hold on, guys.
Catching
Sorry,
some
sorry,
feedback.
sorry. Yeah, hold on.
Catching some feedback, bro.
What, there's
Hold on, I got to.
Not in the studio, Sarah.
You're
You
gonna
wouldn't
have to
know.
Deal with the feedback for a second. I gotta get it out of this
That's why they
case.
talk so loud. They have the headphones on.
Are we talking loud?
Yeah, a little
Huh.
bit.
You're losing your talking
Alright. Jeez, that sucked. Didn't
That
it?
was horrible.
All right, here we go.
I lost all of
Yeah,
our
you lost
viewers.
all your viewers.
Was that heard on everybody?
Yeah, I heard it.
I mean, do you think they heard? I don't
Not
think
yet.
they heard. I think that was on our part. All right, let me go. All right, here we go. We're gonna watch this. Okay, there's something else.
I have
was unsuccessful. I said in my first video, I smoked it out of one of these and it just didn't happen. It looked very similar to mushrooms or LSD, so that's where most people get that comparison.
I can't hear what you're saying because I'm in the
Anyway,
studio.
second time we did it
I'm
in a
also
bong,
listening to what's
and that's when I actually broke through.
So this guy seems
was
to have been
probably-
smoking it, correct?
Yeah.
It was just over a year now, actually. Yeah, just over a year. And did at my boy's apartment.
Something's happening.
And what was really weird was I didn't know what to expect. I hadn't done much research. But I did that on purpose. I didn't want to, when my boy explained to me what the initial breakthrough and parallel dimensions and all this, I didn't want to cloud my experience with
Expectations.
preconceptions of what I would experience. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Smart.
so yeah, like I didn't do too much more than maybe Joe Rogan, and thank God Joe Rogan doesn't really detail too much about experience, but talks about what he thinks is going on. So that was enough to, make me want to do it. Anyway,
He doesn't talk
after
about his
3 hits
experience,
off
but he
of a
talks about
bong,
what he thinks is going
I-
on. That's exactly
It was
talking about
totally
your
different from the
experience.
first experience. I
like the
knew
music.
that I was actually being pushed into another dimension. And when I say pushed in a mental, spiritual way, if I could be removed from my body, that was pretty much what happened. But it's not like a removal. It's like you don't need to use your body because you're using your mind at a higher level, so therefore you become more aware.
supposed to look like
Yeah, I guess that's
Up
it.
there.
But anyway, chilling in the couch. First thing I noticed was the deep saturated colors of your eyes closed. that brown, blotchy, whatever it looks like with your eyes closed, starts, becoming more red, deeper, and then more colors start to form, and that's when you know something's going on. Like, whoa, multiple colors with my eyes closed. This is new. Never seen that before. And then you start to see geometric patterns that
Okay, this
almost
dude-
look like.
He's not being very technical about his
like
experience.
I guess if you got
Okay, here that is a thing. The patterns. I've heard that like almost all the people see this patterns, some kind of a geometrical patterns that are all similar in their experiences, which is weird. How like it's like that's speaking to you or something, trying to pass some kind of knowledge or something.
By mathematics.
Who knows? Ancient aliens.
I feel like Jeremy likes space.
Like space.
Yeah, he talks about it a lot. Space and aliens.
I haven't noticed it. Do you think you talk about space and aliens a lot?
No.
I think you talk
Marlena does.
I think you talk about Bigfoot more than you talk about space and
No,
aliens.
but like 10 times today I've heard him link scenarios to either aliens or outer space.
I think you're a little off on your estimation there. I don't recall 10 times him.
It's probably my.
I said
influence.
something might have came from space on an asteroid.
Like 8 times though. It wasn't like...
But it's the same subject.
No, I heard it for several things. Just,
I think
Well,
you're.
could we have some more input from you instead of judgment?
I'm just
Oh,
saying, maybe
excellent.
it's not related
Excellent
to space.
idea, Jeremy.
Hey, I don't
What do you
wanna-
got? What do you got over there? You get, information?
Pinterest. I'm not looking up purses.
You looking up DMT on Pinterest? Good recipes.
So apparently there's shaman in America that you can do an ayahuasca ceremony.
Don't they have to take you out of the country though?
Well, they're doing some in America. You know what I mean? With the
Illegally?
shaman, I think so. But you can go to Peru and do a ceremony where they do a tobacco cleanse one day. You do some kind of something with tobacco, and you might vomit. It detoxes you so that you're clean to do the ayahuasca, and apparently it just changes the way you think about the world.
I can see that.
So why haven't you guys done it yet?
It's illegal.
Yeah.
Huh? You've never done anything illegal, either of you?
No.
Never.
Never?
This is highly illegal
Is it?
unless you're in Peru.
How highly illegal is it?
It's
Yeah, what's
like
the
it's like a super, I don't know, information girls. You guys both have iPads.
Who do we go to for this knowledge?
Google.
Google?
Smartest motherfucker I know.
Google knows everything. That was your first F-bomb. Pretty good. You're a half hour in. Normally
There we
it's...
go.
you have-
Dropping them now.
Yeah.
Wide open now, bitches. No, just kidding. Already said it though. So what are we trying to find out?
How illegal it
illegal?
is.
Yeah, I would say more illegal than heroin.
No.
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 You know what's crazy though
Heroin's
is
a top
how
tier.
it's
Heroin and marijuana.
Top
together.
tier, yeah.
right. That's ridiculous.
For some reason, crack's down low.
Because cocaine or something they think it has medical purposes more so than marijuana.
Well, heroin has medical...
I don't understand.
Attributes.
Right, but okay, I don't think that anything that is grown natural in the earth should be illegal. I'm sorry.
What about opium?
No. It shouldn't be
Highly
illegal.
addictive.
I don't care. What? I don't care.
Highly addictive.
It shouldn't be illegal.
You might be a libertarian then, because that's exactly what they like. I would just give it's just common sense, you know. People think if everything was legal, well then everyone would be doing everything, but
Right.
still your businesses would still regulate themselves. You can't work at Kenworth and be a heroin addict. They're just not going to allow that.
Right.
You know what
Well,
I mean?
do you know it's somewhere in I'm not sure if it's Amsterdam, somewhere
Spain.
over there. They have heroin It's like you go in and get a dose of heroin. It's legal.
Yeah, well,
and you
yeah.
go and you work your
Functional,
job. Functional heroin
or
addicts.
you can get
That's
other
in
drugs.
Amsterdam.
And they're supplying
Also
it.
in Spain, they have that.
They're supplying it so it's keeping crime down and other things. There's like it's actually.
Or you can get the drug to try to get off of it, which will just give you enough to not detox, or not to have withdrawals, I think. But
They'll just make you addicted to that drug.
that's true. I just think if you want to make that choice to do an illegal narcotic or do some type of illegal drug, you should be allowed to make that option and make that mistake. You can't stop people from making mistakes. Obviously not, because it's highly illegal. You can do serious time for it, and people just do it. So obviously we shouldn't look at this from a criminal sense. We should look
Right.
at it from a medical sense. And it should be between doctors and patients, not between police and users.
Right. Well, that's
You know
why
what
I
I mean?
think no, it shouldn't be illegal. Like, I mean, the coca plant that shouldn't be illegal. The poppy plant that should not be illegal. Weed, the marijuana plant, cannabis, whatever you want to call it, should not be illegal. Mushrooms should not be illegal. The ayahuasca or whatever. It's in a root or something. It shouldn't. None of those should be illegal. It's grown in the earth.
I agree with you on all those things.
But breaking it down, making cocaine and those, I think if it's used in some from that natural state, like even the tea, like
Yeah, but naturally people are going to want to make coca leaves into cocaine. So I don't even care if they do that. Here's where the personal responsibility aspect comes into play. If you're doing those things and you cause an accident or something is your fault, well, you need to be prepared to face those consequences that come from it. You need to
Right.
be prepared to go to prison or
well, absolutely. If you're
financial-
doing anything illegal,
Exactly. So I don't care what you're doing at your house, but if you're a doctor and all of a sudden you want to do a couple shots of heroin and go in and operate on someone that I love and they have complications or they die, guess what? You're going to face the full wrath of the legal system and you're going to go to prison. You know what I mean? So as long as you're willing to face responsibility for your actions, I think you should be able to do whatever you want.
right?
And if heroin was legal tomorrow, they made every drug legal, are you going to go out and do heroin? Are you going to go out and start snorting coke?
Exactly. Nobody's really going to be doing that. I don't believe.
Are you going to teach your kids that it's okay? Just because it's legal, you're going to teach them it's okay? There's a lot of things that are legal.
Oh,
I'm
so
not
did
gonna-
you see who was that chick on Pierce Morgan?
I don't know. I don't watch him. He's a tool.
I know, but this chick was ridiculous about the marijuana and Coulter's.
She's ridiculous
And
all the time.
Coulter's
Yeah.
on Pierce Morgan talking about marijuana.
I think everything.
Oh
she
my
says is
God.
ridiculous.
Well, I would not say that marijuana is a good thing, but I would leave it to you to make your own judgment to whether you want to do it or not. Because I don't believe that it makes you a lazy person. Just because lazy people do smoke marijuana, I don't think that all people that smoke marijuana are lazy. I would just have you could look to your presidents, look to your Olympic gold medalists, your high caliber athletes. You have people that are doing amazing things.
Michael Phelps.
Michael smoked 13 gold medals. He wants to smoke a bowl whenever he's done with that.
You know, because
Go
you know
ahead,
how many
dude.
calories he has to eat per day.
Yeah.
It's some ungodly amount. Well, he probably needs to smoke some weed to have the munchies to do that. Help him. I don't know. It's just a theory.
And
But
so, like,
so what
I-
if he wants to smoke it?
I just don't like it when I hear people say marijuana made me lazy or marijuana made me unsuccessful at life. No, because if there was no marijuana, you probably wouldn't be successful anyway. The full wrath of Deke.
All right, we're going to get this ready. This lady is ridiculous.
Do we have to listen to her?
Well, we're gonna hear just a little bit because
It's probably like watching the movie Reefer Madness. Have you ever seen that old movie?
Yes.
It is so.
Yes.
I think it's kind of funny, and I think, oh man,
It's
people
a little.
people watch this and they're like, wow, that's really.
He made me watch it, and I thought it was really boring.
yeah,
Stupid.
It's so over the top that it's funny. That's all right, man. Technical problems. That's
No, here we go.
that's what we have. I try not to watch too many.
No evidence that cannabis
News
is
channels.
Here we
any
go.
worse
Well, I
than
suppose it
alcohol.
depends
So why
what
is
you
it
mean by
illegal
it.
and cannabis
Well, I'm
and
trying to
cigarettes
answer,
and
but as soon as
alcohol?
I answer, you're going to interrupt me and say, no, it's not,
What
no,
do you
it's
keep
not,
saying
no,
that's
it's not.
untrue, but then explain why?
Well, I keep trying to when you keep interrupting.
Well,
Now
go
I'm going to
ahead.
explain now. So don't interrupt. Look, the sole purpose for smoking pot or eating a pot brownie is to get high. That is not true with alcohol.
Yes,
People
it is.
enjoy, well, maybe you're a 14-year-old going to cake parties still.
Everybody drinks
But-
alcohol to get slightly higher than when they start drinking it. Surely. What's the point of drinking alcohol?
Absolutely. I have done TV after drinks. I bet you have too.
Are you
I'm
intoxicated
drunk
now?
right now.
That would explain a lot of things. Have you ever smoked pot?
Wait, would you please let me finish one sentence, Piers Morgan?
You're sort of you're rambling.
People enjoy wine. They drink wine for a purpose. They will buy $800 bottles of wine. Perhaps you have a warm feeling. It does not. You can tell if somebody's been smoking pot. Their eyes are red. They giggle at everything. And by the way, they're incapable of carrying on the normal functions
Have you
of
ever
life.
smoked pot?
No, I haven't.
Never in your
Almost
life?
none of my friends have because they're athletes.
So how do you know what it is?
Because I'm around potheads. Many of my best
Really?
friends are potheads.
How many
And
potheads
in
are you
fact,
around?
a lot of them.
Didn't she just
well,
say that most of her friends weren't potheads
look,
because they're athletes?
Potheads can still get their pot. They're
think
probably
she just said that many
self-medicating.
of her
But the
friends
more
are
people who
potheads.
take it, and
I
if it
think
is
so,
made
yeah.
legal, vastly more people will take it, and it will be a disaster for commerce.
Why? Why for commerce?
Because potheads are incapable of following simple instructions and getting a job done. I used to carry around as my
She is
sole argument
vicious.
against
She
pot
doesn't know.
legalization.
But it's like
She's
saying
never
alcohol
smoked
As I was
before.
have a drain
saying,
on the economy.
to pick up in the middle of the sentence I was just on before you
What do you mean by
interrupted me,
pothead?
was when I moved to a new place in California and there was a pool and the pool guy didn't, I come back and it's 4 feet down and it's
wonder if we could
covered
give
with
a
green
view.
mold, and I called him up. He was a pothead. Oh, I was there that day. So I took 3 pictures and henceforth that was my argument.
wait
I
a
don't
minute.
happen to have my
Let me
iPhone
try- let me
with
try
now.
and stop the stream of
You
consciousness.
can't get anything done with a pothead. What we need to
What
do
do
is
you mean
encourage
by a
people.
pothead?
Everyone knows what a pothead is.
What does it mean?
It's not smoking pot one time.
So how much are you assuming a pothead takes?
Enough so that it can be made fun of on TV by Brad Pitt in
So
this movie.
like a
and
heavy
oth-
drinker or a heavy smoker?
No, heavy smokers work all night and then die young, saving the Social Security system money.
No, they don't.
For commercial purposes, for the purposes of the good of the country, we ought to encourage Americans to smoke like mad. They'd be incredibly productive, and then they die young and not have long lingering
I told
deaths.
you she was
Potheads,
awful.
no, I'm going to be paying for their food, housing, now for their health
What
care
does she
apparently,
do? I don't
because
even
they
know who
can't
she is.
perform any
She
useful
goes on
job.
TV
Can you
and pisses
imagine
people off.
if
The
people
vast
who
majority
have
of
been a
people,
pothead,
the vast
says- I
majority
can't
of
hold
people
my hands still.
take
I think she wrote a
marijuana
book or
on a
something.
recreational
Oh, yeah,
basis
it's not
are
holding
not,
still
by
enough.
your definition, potheads.
The point is
In the
that
same way
we're
that
gonna have a
most people
lot
who drink
more of
alcohol
them.
are not alcohol.
Okay, I've heard enough of that crazy
Oh,
woman.
that was horrible.
But I just wanted people. I had tried to hold it up there my best so people could actually.
For our economy because they'll die young.
They
Yeah,
do not
yeah.
die young. They have horrible, long, cancerous diseases that are complicated and costly. Usually they run out of money because they're so costly and the state ends up having to pay for it while they're alive. That's the worst thing I've ever heard. It's like
That woman was ridiculous.
if you could take someone that could get every piece of information wrong that they're saying, that's what it sounded like.
Oh,
There
she
was
gives her
nothing.
opinion about all sorts of other stuff.
It was
too.
only opinion only. There was no fact. And I'm
She said
surprised
she had
that
a pool
Pierce.
guy that was a pothead, and there was 4 feet missing out of her pool. So apparently, she's an expert on potheads.
Yeah, it was 4 feet missing. It was green, and potheads are lazy. Because he was smoked pot and
I'm
he didn't clean
surprised
my
that
pool.
Pierce Morgan took the pro marijuana.
How did she know
side.
that he smoked pot though? She
Could-
seems
could
so
you grab me a
anti-pot, you
water
wouldn't
out
ever
there,
have to
man?
bring it up around her.
Thank you, sir. Do what?
It seems like she's so anti-pot. Why would she know that he smoked pot?
Thank you.
Well, she said her friends did.
And she also said all of her friends didn't too in the
Yeah.
same sentence. So
Very crazy sounding.
Well, people like that just go on the air for shock value. I don't even. I like NPR
True,
every
she's-
once in a while, but I don't even listen to.
She
news
was
shows.
trying to be, preposterous. Ridiculous.
People will tune in to watch people they hate just as much, almost, as people they like. That's the sad state of America. They want to see. They want to yell at their screen at you, like, "Oh, you're so dumb."
Yeah. But I honestly believe that she has never smoked pot.
I believe that she would also lie
Because
if
of-
she had.
Yeah, also
heartbeat.
she may had, and she had a bad experience and then associates it with that and then what she sees from everybody, but I don't think she even has. by her maniacal thoughts of the whole subject about smoking.
She has maniacal thoughts about everything, any issue. I'm surprised you've never seen her on TV. Like, I just changed the channel because I can't stand her.
Yeah,
Any
I
issue,
would
like,
not-
if you think about the most evil, like, shithead thing to say, and that's what she says.
But I don't want to judge her though.
Yeah,
But I don't watch a lot of news programs anymore. They just they end up
well,
upsetting
they're
me.
not real. Like CNN, it's paid programming.
Yeah,
They're making
It's
up
all
their own
it's
stories.
all opinions. There's hardly any news. And
Let's
when
make
they-
it sound good.
Exactly. When they do a news story, they want to do shock value, or they want to change what the real issue is and make it either a Republican or a Democrat thing. You know what I mean? They want to take sides in it and make it one way or the other instead of just giving you what the story truly is. Like, let's take, for example, Russia going into Ukraine. Everybody's like, oh, Russia's invading Ukraine. No, they're not. If Russia wanted to invade Ukraine, it'd be over with. I mean, it'd be done. It'd be Ukraine's now a part of Russia. Is what everyone would be talking about. They sent
Right.
some guys in to protect some assets they have, which I don't care. I could care if Russia invaded Ukraine. It makes no.
Well, they're our
difference.
The real
ally.
question is, no, why do we care?
Yeah.
Because
We
don't
care because we're allied with Europe, and Ukraine is part of the EU, the European Union. Plus, oil. A lot of oil
I bet
goes.
you, yeah.
You know what I always think of when I hear Ukraine? I just picture that they have a lot of uranium. I don't know why. It just
Well,
it makes me think uranium,
It's just a play on
Ukrainium.
words.
Ukrainium.
Here's a bad thing. Like a long time ago, they signed a pact with the. I can't remember whatever the world government thing is that where all the governments talk.
The UN.
The UN. There we go. Gosh, I can't believe I didn't know that. That they would give up their missiles that they had left over from Russia. Ukraine had some nuclear missiles. They said, "Well, we'll give them up, but now the UN has to protect them because they signed a thing that says we will protect you if anything happens to you if you give us those missiles." So, you know, I mean, now the UN is obligated.
Russia. We said that
No, the UN said that.
they'll give us the missiles if
I'm
we
sure
protect
the UN
them.
might back out though.
So
I would love to leave the UN. I don't think we should be a part of the UN.
Why?
I think why?
because they're
Because
putting
it's
us all over
horrible.
in places we don't need to be, maybe. I don't know.
I just
I think we're putting ourselves. I don't.
yeah,
think
yeah,
anybody
yeah.
bosses
We
around.
normally don't even wait for the UN to.
We
Yeah.
really don't give a shit
What?
about them. Pretty much.
What? Russia's invading Ukrainians? Let's go.
I just I'm not really interested about what's going on in Ukraine. I'm not interested in what's going on in Syria. I don't think it's the government's. Here's how I look at it. If you have family in Syria and you want to help the Syrian rebels, buy some bitcoins and send it to people who are leading the Syrian rebels. You can do that.
Yeah.
You can privately send them money. If
Yep.
you are a citizen and you want to support something overseas, send your own money. Fly over there. Join the revolution if it's that strong of an urge to you. Don't let my government do it because guess what? Maybe I've got family that is pro-Assad and they're over there fighting for the Assad regime. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to send my money to help kill my family members over there.
Right.
That's not a place for our government to be policing, especially a civil war situation. We don't need to be getting involved with. And honestly, we'll be giving money to the extremists. We'll be fighting these extremists in one country and then helping them in another country. It doesn't make any sense. And that's what happens whenever you start getting tied up into all these different wars. I don't care if we ever send a man in. If we send drones in, if we send anything, we're still we're in there. That's what I consider that being involved in that war.
Drones are the most ridiculous thing.
They
Why?
are.
Why are
They're
they
awesome.
ridiculous?
You know how many innocent people they're killing with
I
drones?
believe they were killing innocent people before though.
I was
You
about
can
to
just
say.
sit back.
I think you're right about that. We were killing people with bombs before.
Right,
Way
but
before.
they're like,
With
oh,
planes,
okay,
we were
this
killing
guy's
people,
cell
like-
phone is right here. Let's just send it in. Like, we killed 30 innocent people, but we got that guy.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, we've been doing that
And-
since the beginning of war.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
we've been
also
doing that.
switching their batteries, their SIM cards, and their
Yeah.
phones all the time. Those militias or whatever you want to call them, and So, you know, you don't know where that guy is. So you might be sitting and bombing the wrong guy around the wrong people.
Yeah.
Casualties. The
Of
government
war.
doesn't care
So
about
They don't
like
care.
basically, we're
They're just
killing
numbers.
innocent people with war.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much the drone situation; it's just the fact that we're fighting this unending war on terror (quotation marks), which will never stop. It's the perfect war for if you're in the manufacturing of things used in war, because it's just unending. You'll never. The war on drugs, it'll never end. It's something that's going to go on forever.
Unless they legalize everything
Yeah.
and
really,
quit.
Do you really think the banking system would let you?
Probably not, but do like
No,
Police
no,
department.
most drug crimes are victimless crimes that they're just putting on people
Yeah.
that have the choice to put into their body what they want to put in.
I agree.
And I really don't think, like you were saying, that legalizing everything is going to just create a bunch of addicts.
Because if you're a parent, you need to take personal responsibility for your children, and you need to teach them these are bad.
They're still going to
Don't
know,
do
right?
those.
It's still like alcohol's still going to be bad.
Right.
And you know, then you have the choice to decide if you're gonna want to do that or not, or whatever it may be.
I
You know,
agree.
you're gonna drink alcohol when
Well,
you're
not
of
gonna
age.
get an argument from me out of that.
Yeah, no, I'm not
the only
trying.
thing
I'm just
the war of
making a
drugs
point.
does is that, you know, you got to militarize your police, because now we have to go and kick in doors and accidentally shoot people and cause deaths that are unintended, because we
Right.
need these. We need
Then
to,
those victimless crimes have victims.
yeah, most generally at the hands of the law enforcement, or, you know, since they're illegal, I guess you got to have guns to protect yourself from other people who might want to take it,
Mm-hmm.
and that could cause you to shoot at somebody who kicks in your door.
Right.
If you don't know it's the police, because sometimes they do no knock warrants where they'll kick in the door before, you know, I mean, they're not like, hey, police. They just smash through your door and like try to get you under control before you can go for a gun or something. But anyway, that'll be always an endless situation that is just, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. Ronald Reagan started that war.
Oh no, man! This war, the drug war has been going on since the beginning. At first, it was used to like keep immigrants down, because, you know, like the Chinese immigrants had the opium,
Uh-huh.
so we made that illegal to keep them, you know, building the railroads for us and doing whatever else we had them doing back then. Each group had their own certain thing that we made illegal just to keep them down, I guess.
Do you know, like, okay, so they back in the 30s and the prohibition of marijuana, you know, it was legal. A lot of things were even still legal after that, but isn't it so weird how like it's starting to be legal now, but like how that's just changed the mindset of on people of what it is, like, you know, once it's legal, are people still aren't going to accept it like they accept alcohol, and it's crazy.
Well, some people don't accept alcohol. Some people
I guess,
think
yeah.
alcohol is horrible. I don't think alcohol is a good thing that you should get smashed and go drive and do things. But if you're at home and you want to have a drink, you just got off work, go ahead, dude. If you're working,
Right.
paying your taxes, taking care of your kids, I'm fine. Do whatever you want, man. As long as you ain't stealing from me, and as long as you ain't hurting no one I love, you're fine.
And wasn't it? It was the prohibition started from, what was the guy's name? What he had the newspaper company.
I think the prohibition started from the women's leagues, Christian women's leagues.
No,
started
William
prohibition.
Yeah,
William
yeah,
Randolph
yeah.
Hearst. Who's William Randolph Hearst? What, didn't he have like a printing company and
Yeah, he owned a lot of paper, and I know it's a
paper
family,
that
it's a
comes from
really
trees?
American name, Hearst.
And
Are you
whenever
okay, I thought you were talking about the prohibition of alcohol, but you're talking about marijuana.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, you know, when they invented the decorticator where they could just shred, you know, do a lot with the hemp
Yeah.
and make a lot of stuff, which is going to put the lumber companies and stuff out of business.
Basically, everything that you can do with wood, you can do with hemp fiber. I mean, except for
But you can eat it.
Yeah, and it's better quality. It lasts 7 times longer because it's 7 times stronger. And you can do amazing things that wood can't do. But
They make concrete
yeah,
no out of it.
they do. They make the super light concrete
Yeah,
blocks.
but super durable.
Yeah. Well, like shirts are 7 times long. Will last 7 times longer than cotton because it's.
Yeah, you can't make, but you also can't make all that shit out of one. You know, you're either gonna have cotton or you're gonna have a
Trees.
tree. You know, it's not one plant. You could, like, probably build a house almost from floor to roof out of hemp. I don't know. I would like to. Well, besides electrical.
I'd say depending on how you process it, yeah, you probably could.
Yeah, possibly. It's probably been done. If we thought about it, it's been done. Bam! There's millions of people out there on the internet world. Who did it?
I'm sure if you just Googled it, it'd
Yeah.
probably come up.
Come on, people.
A hemp house.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got to be a thing.
should have already been on it. Come on, I got you beat. I'm gonna beat you. Oh, my thing won't rotate.
Oh,
The hemp house.
I bet you a lot of things come
Oh,
up that are
it's
not what you're
definitely
looking for if you just Google hemp house.
Yep, house made of hemp. You want to see pictures?
Hemp house.
I already got it.
Wow, that was you just ate her dust, bro.
Bam, bam. There's a bunch of them.
All right, so there is a hemp. Oh, that one's crazy. It's a rounded.
Well, yeah, it's a bunch of hippies.
There are several.
Who do you think built
Built
this?
a house
Yeah.
out of hemp, yeah.
You know, it's a
Houses
hippie.
top
Bet you
10.
they have solar panels. Bet you $50 for solar panels on this.
They've got goats running on wheels to generate electricity.
Take a look at the exterior of the house. This is hempcrete. It's a mixture of hemp, lime, and water. And inside the house, there are a lot more green features we can show you.
We heard that we could have a really great neighborhood party if it ever caught on fire.
Karen Corp and her husband,
Of
former
course,
Asheville
that's
Mayor Russ
a lie
Martin,
because you
have
can't
heard their share of
get
jokes
any
about
type
their
of
new home.
High from hemp.
Floor plan is completely open with 14-foot walls.
Now the couple has the
I'm
last
going the wrong
laugh
way.
as they show off their hemp house.
It was about $100.
That's last month's cooling bill for the 3,400 square foot home.
The insulating
Jeez.
factor
That's great.
and thermal capabilities are fantastic.
There's even more green materials inside the home. The walls and the doors are all made out of recycled paper, only a couple of inches thick and very breathable.
Breathable like the hempcrete, which we first saw when the house was under construction in November.
It's a built-in air filter, which for myself and my company is our main focus, is air quality and the non-toxicity and chemical-free aspects of material.
This is our bathroom, and it's wonderful. We have the LED lights in here, fluorescence over here. The wall is of a natural stone.
While the home sits on expensive land off Town Mountain Road, the couple says it only cost $133 per square foot to
Okay,
build
they're
the
rich
house.
hippies.
They're hoping more people will follow their lead.
I think this is really the
Right, but
wave
if
of
more
the
people
future
would do it,
in
the
looking
cost
at
would go down.
Using
I bet you he did
renewable and
DMT when he was in
recyclable
college.
materials
Listen,
that are
I
a
have
lot
been called a corporate hippie before. What that means is, you know, I like to hang out, have campfires. You know, I don't mind sharing things if I got plenty of them. But I couldn't live somewhere where people would just take your stuff because you have to share everything. You know what I mean? Like in a commune or
Yeah,
like a hippie
we
commune.
were talking about that one day.
Yeah. Like, no, well, hold on a second. I'm
That's
only-
my shit. I worked hard for that.
Yeah, I got 3 left, bro.
You
When I had
ask me-
10, I could give you one, but I got 3. I'm sorry.
Yeah, ask me and I might, but remember what I said, don't expect it or
Yeah.
I won't do it.
I like being green. I like being energy efficient. I like helping the environment because I like to be in the woods. But don't just help yourself to any of my stuff, you know?
Yeah. Totally off the subject, but
Everything's totally off the subject
yeah.
tonight.
I invented it. Well, I'm not going to say I invented
I was just about to say, you got a patent for it?
it. No, a submission called the, and I guess I just named it the camel toe.
You should call it the moose knuckle.
The moose knuckle. No, it looks more like a camel toe though. Like if your arm's like this, that's more like a camel toe, right? Right here, this part. Then
I guess, I don't know.
But I don't know. It's kind of like a key lock, but it's just around that whole part instead of over the arm.
Maybe you're
with
just
a gable grip. Man.
You talking about a move? That's
Yeah.
not an invention.
No, okay. Well, no, I know. I discovered it.
You made a new move.
I made it. I don't know if I made it. I discovered it on my own, I guess. So
Yeah.
can't
No
say I'm
one
the
taught
first
it to
one to
you,
do
but
it.
you found it.
Maybe it's out there. So if anybody's ever seen it, the camel toe, I want to know the name of it.
Dude, give it a really good name. Name
Yeah,
it
I
after
don't know.
yourself, man. If no one has seen it on the UFC yet, then you can name it whatever you want.
All right. Yeah, I guess
Someone
so.
may try to correct you. It'll be too late. They'll be like, "No,
Right.
I've seen."
So I'll put
kids
my.
do it.
Okay. Yeah. Put my. Yeah. And
Give
then,
it like one of those really good like WWE names for a move. You know what I mean? They always come up with the STFU. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I have a Gooch Crush.
Okay, what's a Gooch Crush?
It's
I'm
like
game.
it's like an arm crush, bicep crush that you use with your legs, like from like underneath of the opponent.
I thought you said you had a Gooch crush.
Kind of put their elbow in your
I thought
gooch.
he said gooch.
Okay,
Like,
so
Gooch.
you're really talking about the Gooch.
thought-
Okay,
yeah.
I thought you were just calling it that.
No,
for
their
some
arms
others.
like in your gooch, like an armbar area. You know,
Okay.
it's in your crotch.
I mean, it sounds horribly painful. And
The
you
Gooch
think
Crush.
someone would give up for it, or
Maybe
just
he
be
got me
totally?
new first.
The
Maybe
Guccio
that's it. He
Plata,
just doesn't wanna admit
actually.
it.
You would have to get out of that move, like. You know, some moves are just very, very uncomfortable, but they won't make you give up. Like the body triangle. It's horribly
Sometimes some
uncomfortable.
people can take it, but some people tap.
Yeah.
Just different people. You know, it depends on how you get it. Also, I guess if you got it in the right spot. There's a lot of factors in jujitsu.
Did you just thumbs down
Yeah,
something over there?
because she's Taekwondo red belt, black belt, red belt.
Red belt, what's that? Right after
Red
white
Top.
belt?
That's
Red
after black.
I read black.
Red black. Oh, red black. Red black. Red black. Red ram.
It's red and black.
Red black. Okay, sorry.
Black and yellow, black and
Yeah,
yellow.
red with a black stripe apparently. Something.
Sounds impressive. Did you get a trophy with it?
I have a bunch
Thousands.
of trophies. Thousands. Probably not thousands. Probably just like 500. Not that many.
500 trophies?
Maybe, yeah.
I'm impressed. Do you have all of them still?
No, I've gotten rid of a lot.
Oh, why? Why
She
would you?
gave them away. She would
Why?
give people.
I have
Why?
like a garage full of trophies and plaques.
And well, there's your first problem right there. They need to be on the wall.
They were inside the house, they were inside the garage, they were inside the barn.
If you have 500, then obviously
I
you're
did
good enough to get a
Taekwondo
room
from, like,
dedicated to trophies.
From
Yeah.
the age of 7
You
till
should have a
about
damn
18.
room.
I'm
I went to,
33.
like-
You know how many trophies I've probably come across over the years?
How many?
I'd say no more than 30.
Well, you can have one of mine.
I don't want one of yours. I want to earn my own.
Yeah, that's another thing. Who wants somebody else's trophies?
Surprisingly, a lot of people, especially little kids, they love them.
Well, yeah, of course, little kids love them.
They're trying to take off your plaque with your name on it and
Like, that's my karate trophy.
Sharpie their own name on it.
I'm a
No, that's
Taekwondo.
legit. That's legit. They gave that to me just like that.
Yeah, I mean they ran out of plaques, so they used a Sharpie.
Yeah, man, you shouldn't throw away your trophies.
I have.
I would have this. I'd have every room in the house filled up. If,
I
like,
would
hey, I'm
be
sorry,
able-
I got a lot of
I would-
trophies.
I
I
would
can't
probably have
help
to
it.
get a U-Haul and drive it from Washington State to here, so I could shove all of them in
Get
the
one of them.
garage.
You can buy a shipping container for like $3,000, I think. Man, it might be a little bit more than that. I might have just lied. Like $5,000.
Oh, pod.
Yeah, and then you can put a
They
door
don't
on
ship
it.
from Washington. They don't ship from where I'm from in Washington.
Hmm.
I thought about that before. Well, not my trophies though. No. I just don't use them anymore. Like what?
Well, they're not for
What's the
use.
meaning
They're
of
to
them?
show off. Show your accomplishments. Yeah, look. Yes. Okay. What is this trophy? Well,
I won
this.
this when I was 7.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I've been accomplishing things since very, very early.
Yeah.
He's been to a karate tournament. And he knows how it is. Like you go there, you compete like in 2, maybe 3 events. And I used to always place in 2. And if you place first, then you compete for grand champion. But then there's like I did weapons training too, so then I do another event, and I usually placed in that too. So I went like once every 2 to 3 months, and I placed with 4 trophies.
And here's how you do it. You look at the judges and you have to be assertive. My name's Jeremy Kids. I'm going to perform Dragon Fist Style #1.
Not like that.
Yeah. You know, like they're that fucking serious. You
Be
know I'm
assertive.
not far off. I am not far
He's
off.
not, no.
Listen, if you're gonna do it, take it serious. You
Yeah,
know?
they used to always tell us that, and me and my sisters would not. We were like, we're not going to go out there and embarrass ourselves like this for everybody.
I think that's awesome.
They are intense.
Have you ever seen The Foot Fist Way?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, you definitely need to watch it. You've not seen the.
I can't remember if I've seen it
It's
or
got
not.
Danny McBride in it, and it's one of his first movies. Will Ferrell wrote it. He doesn't act in it, and it's got a couple other people from what's the TV show that he's on?
I thought we watched it on Netflix.
It might be on Netflix.
We might have.
Foot Fist Way. He owns a karate dojo in a strip mall, and he does like he's the king of the demo.
The demo.
Yeah, the board breaking demo.
Oh, yeah.
And, it's definitely worth a watch. It's probably one of his better movies. It's one of the first movies he was ever in, really.
I did go to one karate school when I was younger. That was a lot more hardcore than my second karate school. And the first karate school, like, if you broke your board, like, if you didn't break it and you broke your hand, they're just like, oh, well, you should have practiced harder.
Yeah.
My second
You
one, though,
obviously don't have.
We're just
mind
gonna give a
over
little
matter.
peek of Miss Marlena here, just so people want to know. They just want one little look. See,
Should I do
one
Sarah?
little look. That's all you got is one little.
She's
Hello.
totally into it right now. Look at her.
Totally, like it's over her face. There you go. There she is, totally into
Does she
the
look
Pinterest.
pathetic as she does in the studio. Yeah.
Viewers
probably.
want
Let's
to
get-
know.
Let's get it back to what they came to see.
You're good.
There we go.
you can barely see
Yeah.
both of us. Like,
See?
you probably couldn't make us out.
Nobody will ever know.
Your ratings are gonna triple.
I know. See, that's exactly what we needed. That's why I did it. I was like, man, like they can't just hear these women. They gotta
Visualize.
Yeah, I wonder where our karaoke guy is. Our karaoke friend.
Yeah, it's probably about time to.
For him to come on
Yeah,
in here.
it's only 3 minutes.
Are
till
you out
10.
there, Jay Karaoke? Oh, it's already
10, yeah.
We could just talk a little more, I think.
What, like
Who's
10,
Jake
15?
Car- Is he the guy that said the Deke was a little bit? Mickey the
Chubby.
Vampire?
Chubby.
Meaty and paste.
Chubby,
maybe.
receding hairline.
Fleeting hairline, McFleeting.
Chubb's McFleeting hairline. I seen a wanted poster in the post office. That dude's funny, man. Sometimes you need that comic relief going on. He's got a techno channel
Yes, that's what you're saying.
where all he plays is like techno. He just comes on and plays techno music for like an hour and a half. I don't think he talks or anything.
Does
You just
DJ
DJ?
it?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Well,
Or is he just doing his playlist?
I don't know. We haven't listened to
I
it.
should probably listen to it and find out. Anyway, the kid's funny. Guy, girl, I don't even know who it is. I keep
Yeah.
saying he, but it could be a girl.
That's what we were saying, but it's probably most likely a guy. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
His wit seems manly.
Manly wit.
Manly wit.
Yes. The black hole. I was going to talk about the black hole.
Why are you always talking about black holes?
It's just like to think of, like, if you go into a black hole and you could see the history of the universe
I think
unraveling the
also
flash.
heard- Okay.
Tyson DeGrassi, is that who you're talking
No,
about?
Yeah.
Tyson DeGrassi.
I think he's full of it on that one. I don't think you would be able to see anything because you'd be dead. As soon as you hit the event horizon, you'd be stretched. And you'd be dead. Your body can't handle
Well,
that.
they say that. I don't know if you'd be completely stretched. I know that they say that black holes do, like, generally, like, they gain mass once they take in more mass. So they are growing in size. So that's one reason why they might not kill you.
You couldn't handle the gravity in it. It would crush you.
And what if it sent you to a parallel universe, though?
You couldn't handle it.
It seems like in our universe that it's smashing a bunch of, like the gravity's so intense, but maybe the gravity just seems intense because it's just sucking you through a hole.
You know, the idea of parallel universes is just theory, and like
Sorry about
when
that.
they say there's an alternate universe for every decision you make, they're just saying it's a theoretical alternate. Like, it could have happened. It's not that it does exist. It is hypothetically it could have existed. You know, if you study that kind of stuff, it's not what you think. Like there's this where you can be
Forward
like
TV. The world is
it's
thinking.
not like you can be like sliders and jump from alternate universe to alternate universe, because there is only one reality, but there are several parallel realities that could hypothetically have happened or could happen.
There are so many universes that there's been an identical you and me in an identical house in an identical podcast doing the same exact shit that we're doing right now with two girls. Of one looks identical to Marlena and one's identical to Sarah. That has happened before.
No.
Yes.
No.
Nobody believes me. Do you believe me? That the probability of the vastivity, is that a word, of the universe?
No, I don't think so.
It sounds
It's
cool
not,
though.
but go
The
for it.
vastivity of the universe.
Anyway, I believe that what would happen is you would be crushed at the beginning of.
Okay, here's Death
Okay, I
by
watched
Black
the
Hole.
special
Neil Tyson deGrasse.
Because what
Once
happens
where
is
they
the
said-
gravity of
Go ahead.
Well, they said that like if a black hole ate your wallet, what was going to happen? Like it was like a digital computer, and it would just log your wallet in, like it'd make a copy of it and log it
Okay.
into the black hole. So then at any moment, like if it was to actually spit it back out, it could spit out an exact replica of your wallet.
That sounds
I
like
watched a lot.
poppycock to me.
All right, here we go. We're gonna
Watched a
hear
lot of weird
Neil Tyson.
That's Netflix.
Forward
You have to-
TV. The world is thinking.
Because what happens is the gravity of the black hole is extreme, as you can imagine. Light doesn't even escape. Its gravity is so extreme. Light traveling at the speed of light, all right? Like, just to put that in context, if you wanted to escape the Earth, it's actually possible to do that, contrary to what your grandparents told you, where they said, what goes up must come down. That's just not true. Well, there's nothing your grandparents ever threw that never came down. But with rockets, with high enough speed, you can send something so it never comes back. For Earth, that speed is 7 miles per second. And we call it the escape velocity. But if I throw something, oh, I got apples here, good. If I throw this not fast enough, it comes back. So most of life experience tells you that what goes up comes down. 7 miles per second, this never comes back. It goes to the edge of the universe there. Okay, so now it turns out on a black hole, the escape velocity is so high that you have speed of light is not good enough. So if light doesn't come out, nothing's coming out. It's black. You fall in. You're not coming out. It's a one-way trip. Okay. So if you die this way, you won't get to tell anyone how you died. That's for starters. But second, as you fall in, you don't just die because you disappear. You die long before you disappear. As you fall in, the gravity at your feet becomes rapidly greater than the gravity at
You
your
die.
head.
That's what I said. You die.
Now, it turns out, if you stand on Earth,
Well, they do think some
that
particles
fact
can travel
is
faster
true
than the speed of light.
under those conditions as well, because your feet are closer to Earth's center than the top of your head is. So your feet actually feel a stronger force of gravity, but not by much. Because if you're 5 feet tall, 6 feet tall, and Earth is like 4,000 miles in radius, that difference is not that great compared with the distance to the center of the Earth. Black hole, they're so small, so compact, that your height matters as you fall in towards the black hole. So your feet start falling faster than your head does. That's a bad situation to be in. You don't really, initially you kind of feel good, because we all stretch when you wake up in the morning. Initially, it feels like a stretch.
Right, sort of general relativity kind of yoga.
Okay, it's a kind of yoga, cosmic yoga.
Okay, I can't. That's enough. We're gonna listen to the whole thing. It's 5 minutes long, but he's saying that it's gonna just start stretching you, like you were saying. Yeah.
And you'll die.
Like,
But
it could
that's what's
stretch
gonna
you and
happen
you
to
come back together on the
But
other
what
side. You're
people are-
shot through.
What people are going to see on the
Smack.
outside.
That's what I do with people.
What people watching are going to see is just you frozen there. And you, like, your last visions will be of people speeding up. Like, around you, everything's going to be happening a million times faster than what is happening. And what people are going to see is just you frozen there as you're stretching out. Inconceivably slow.
Like, Really?
And because time would stop for you, because it'd be like traveling at this almost.
Well,
close
you're
to
trying
the
to get
speed of
in?
light.
No, I
You're
was
peeking
just
in? Peeking in on there? Oh, now you want to watch yourself later? On the lag? Oh, there you're at. Oh, missed it.
15-second delay still?
I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Oh. 3 seconds? Oh no, that was the first one, yeah. I don't know. Alright. So you're being stretched apart. Or you just get shot through like boom, like a cannon.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think you come out anywhere. I think it's just a.
Did you see the thing where they
What
think
if a
that
black hole is just like a teleportation device?
yeah, between these
Well,
two
then there'd
universes.
be a bunch of 'em out
Did you
there.
see the thing about
Well,
the
they
u-
think that there are black holes at the center of every single universe, in theory.
So, we know what creates a black hole. That seems like a very odd way to create a teleportation device. The only way I think you could ever have teleportation is if you would make a data copy of yourself. You make a copy of where every molecule is at. You send that to a molecule machine somewhere, and it puts this copy of every molecule together where it's at.
When you say molecule?
Molecule. I'm sorry. So it would kill you where you're at, build a brand new you somewhere else with the same memories, and then download all your memories and everything into that body, and that would be the only way of transporting. Like in Star Trek, that's how they do it. That's how they transport you. They destroy you where you're at, and then rebuild you. Yeah, it's on Star Trek. So you make a good point, Sarah. It probably is true, because
Yeah.
that show, they probably put some research into scientific facts on that show.
They were way ahead back in the 70s.
But thanks for being a smarty. Make smarty pants over
It was.
there.
They probably got it was probably somebody on legal acid, LSD, that got the idea to do it back then, because it was still legal at the time.
Have you guys read the book The
Star
Future of
Trek.
Tomorrow?
No.
They talk about teleportation. It's a lot similar to Star Trek, actually.
Where they tear you apart.
Yep, that's exactly what they want to do.
Yeah. So
Demolecule.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how I feel about actually doing it. Watching someone else do it's fine. Me myself doing
You know
it.
what it makes me think of?
What?
Willy Wonka.
Yep.
Uh huh. I was thinking that too.
Get out of here, you.
Maybe going into a black hole, getting stretched out, Willy Wonka style.
Maybe you were just being teleported.
We'll never know really what's inside a black
Stress
hole,
test,
because
yeah.
nothing can escape it.
Yeah.
If you sent in a camera, it would just
Well,
be
things
crushed
do
and just.
escape
Light
black
cannot
holes.
escape.
No, they're called. I'm gonna look it up on the
I
internet.
know a certain particle gets shot out of it. That's how they track what they are.
Yeah,
but I think
but
that's
what-
just from the
Is that gamma ray burst or
something like. I think that's just from the power of it pointed in that it pushes some out.
It's a gamma ray. That's like the most serious radiation.
Yeah, for
Gamma.
us. I mean, not for a
It can
universe.
go through anything, like steel.
Yeah,
right through it,
it's
like
so
butter.
small though.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
probably why.
Little pieces of things go through your body all the time. It's just so infinitely tiny that. it
Well,
just goes
we're
right through you.
like there's like nothing in between us. Like we're a lot of nothing.
Yeah. Well,
Air.
Weak molecular forces are what hold you together. Like,
And there's so much space in between all
yeah,
those.
nothing
that
is solid when you get down like to an infinitely
Right.
small place. So physics is about the infinitely small and the infinitely big as well. Did you know that? So in physics, it's not only like how the universe works; it's how the tiniest particles work.
No. You gotta say it like the micro machine guy or something. No, like the tiny. You gotta say tiny like
Tiny! I
The
don't know
tiny.
how to- I don't
I don't
know
know.
what you're looking for.
Well, you started to and then you stopped. Like when you say tiny, it makes you want to say tiny, tiny little things.
So I think
nobody
like-
wants to say tiny like tiny.
They have
The
things broken
tiny.
down to like quarks. I think is the smallest thing that we know about. I think.
No, we found the God particle.
Okay, what's it about? What is it?
It's a particle that
Oh,
they were
and the
looking
and
for.
the
but
the
they think,
collider.
In the collider, they
Yes.
think they found it, or they for sure found it.
They came out and said we found the God.
When did they
particle."
come out with this?
Last year.
Yeah, I don't know if for sure though that they said they found, but there was actually they thought.
Right now, the Hadron Collider is shut down for decommission.
Yeah, because
They
they
can make a super small one. They made that super huge one, and now they can make a super tiny one.
and they burned it up, colliding particles.
I'm going to
Some
look for
guy
that.
got in trouble. I guess he was working. He's a scientist, and he was studying supersymmetry. And he used to throw things into the Hadron Collider, almost broke it, like watches.
Just throw them in there to see what would
yeah,
happen?
just to see what would happen.
What? Who is this? Now that is probably a pothead. How did he get that?
Can't
job
function
in
a damn job.
I
There
know.
was like 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, I don't know anything about supersymmetry, but
Bill, let me see your watch. Are you? What are you going to do with it, bro? My wife just
They
gave
threw,
that
like,
to
a
me.
banana
No,
in
man,
there.
just let me see it. I promise, I'll give it back.
In a billion pieces.
Yeah.
someone actually got blasted by one of those. Like
Got
some guy
shot-
stood
something
in the
shot
way,
out?
and he almost died.
Oh,
Well,
I'd
he
say
didn't really almost die.
it probably
but
went right
knocked-
through him.
Well, yeah, but it was just a tiny, tiny amount, like a
Shoom.
super small amount.
A watch would kill somebody.
No, they
for
don't,
sure.
you don't slam the watch; it's slamming particles.
All right, so we're gonna save. What we're gonna do, we're gonna build a sensory deprivation tank. That's our plan. We're gonna look into that, and then we're gonna save our money and go to Peru and do an ayahuasca ceremony.
And go tour the Hers potato chip factory.
Oh yeah, that was our idea.
We
We're
can
gonna
save
tour
that
it.
for next time.
Yeah.
Because that ain't going to happen until it's warmer outside, that's for sure. Then maybe we can get somebody to come on and talk about what it's like to make tater chips all day.
Oh yeah. Some taters.
I wonder what flavor they make down there, because it's too small to make a variety, like a large variety, so they probably just focus on...
Like a couple, like a
Yeah.
barbecue in a plane.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And they are delicious. You guys like Hers barbecue?
Yeah, I
Tastes
don't
like
eat
Rippos.
chips a lot though.
Yeah. You're
Not
probably
those.
too
I eat
healthy.
the blue corn tortilla chips with like stuff, but occasionally I do. Hers.
What a hippie.
Yeah, the Hers barbecue and the like the gold like bag.
That's my favorite.
They're delicious.
Barbecue. That's what you know.
Salt and vinegar is what I like.
I like salt and... I like all kinds of potato chips.
Yeah.
Dude, let's sign him off.
All right.
I'm ready.
Yep, let's do it. We are out. Until next
Sunday at 8:30.
You're gonna be camping.
Oh yeah.
So I'll probably I'll figure something out and go on.
I'll try
But
to see if I can...
do it from a broadcast
Yeah.
about. If not, we
We
might
have-
be able to FaceTime or something.
So I was
and-
just about to say that. Have we learned how to connect it in any way yet? No?
No, I can't do that. I can only like receive what you're giving into my phone and just put the sound into it, or I could hold it if there was video.
We'll
like
try to
I've
work
been
something
doing.
out. I'll let you know how freezing cold it is or not.
Right. All right, y'all. Till next Sunday, 8:30. Blue Wall
Podcast.
The
pod people.
Bam. We are out.